Right then, so as anyone who's ever watched this channel will know, I'm a big fan of the Sightmark Wraith. And I've had over the years all the variants that they've made. I've had the HDs, the two HD ones, the smaller front lens one with the lower mag, and the 51 with the higher mag. Both of those superb sights. Really, really impressed with those. I've had the new little HD one, the 4K one, and I've had the little mini one as well. And I've got to say that they're my favourite night vision gear. Believe it or not, I still think the cheaper one, the entry level one, is probably one of the best night vision air rifle, air gunning scopes you can get. It's cheap, it's robust, it's super simple to use, and I've never had one go wrong. The vision on it, in the day is great, at night it's great. Really, it's pretty damn good thing for the money. The only one I've not had is this one, which is the 4K Max one. Now, the reason I've never had one of these is because I was so happy with the smaller ones, the HD ones, that this was, when these first came out, they're about 1,200 quid, so they were very expensive. And really, I thought, is it going to be that much better, more than twice as good as a HD, because it was twice as expensive. So I sort of held back and never really had one. Thankfully, Uttings are now doing these for under £5, which is an absolute bargain, if you ask me. I don't know how they're doing it for that, but they are. Obviously, the price of the HD ones has come down. The entry-level HD one now, you can get one of those for just a shade under 300 quid. So this is still 200 quid dearer. But I have to say, having used this since I bought it last week, having used it a couple of times, I do think that this is possibly, if you can push to that extra couple of hundred quid, this is worth it. So let's have a little look through what you get. So the first thing you'll see is that it is a completely different shape to the HD Wraiths. The second thing, in a scale of importance, I suppose, is that this now has an onboard battery that you charge up with like a phone charger that comes with it in the box. So no longer do you have to carry around batteries, either rechargeable ones or just normal ones that you buy in a shop. It now has its own onboard battery, and if you put everything on it, recording, Wi-Fi, the whole caboodle, and turn all of that on from a full charge, you'll get about 5 or 6 hours runtime. If you're just using the scope, the night vision scope, you're not using the Wi-Fi and you're not recording, you will get about 8 hours. Now, to me, that is way, way, way more than you will need, really. So plenty of runtime on the internal batteries. It's also configured slightly differently as regards the menu. So the menu now, instead of the little square boxes that scroll down that you get on the HD Wraiths, you now get, using this toggle switch here, little turning toggle switch you can press the top, you now get a circular menu, and you just basically turn left or right to whatever you want, and then press the top, and that clicks onto it, and then you go into sub-menus if they're available. I actually find that better. I find that the circular one is easier to use. The graphics are much bigger. It's much easier to see and much easier to use, in my opinion, anyway. Still got the same sort of one-shot zero thing, which is fairly typical on night sights these days. Very easy to use. Took me 3 shots. It never takes one shot. Took me 3 or 4 shots to zero this in, and then a couple of shots to make sure that it was holding zero. And then what I normally do, just to make sure that everything's okay, I turn the scope off, leave it off for a bit, turn it back on, and then try it again. Make sure that the zero's where you set it. This, absolutely perfect. So 4 or 5 shots to zero in, a couple of shots to test it, and then I've turned it off and on a couple of times, and it's holding zero perfectly. So really, really good. Zoom in, zoom out is easy. Just scroll through it. One way takes you, zooms in, one way zooms out. It's got a mid-range mag on this compared to the other ones. So this one is a 3-24 by 50. 4K digital imaging, daytime colour mode. And I have to say that this has got a slightly better sensor than any of the other Wraiths. And you can tell because the pixelation and image quality by day and night does seem to be better, and noticeably better, to be fair. Built-in video recording, this time it comes with sound as well. 10 ret options with 9 colours, and you can save 4 different weapon profiles on it if you're going to move it around. These gives you some idea of the type of rets that you can have and the colours that you can pick as well. So, focus is with this, and it now has a decent size. This model has a decent sized grip to get all of, cat's tails to get all of, to help you focus. Picatinny rail on the side to mount your IR illuminator. Record button is on that side. On-off button is on that side. So really straightforward. Twist to focus the, get the ret in focus. Nice squishy eyepiece. And if you come around the other side, we have a port for your SD card and a port for charging it up and downloading information to your laptop, should you so wish. But it will record straight to a micro SD card, and it does sound as well on this one. The other thing I like about it as well, now that they've started to do, is they actually now include in the price this long setback rail. At one time this was about an 80 quid option on these Wraiths. Now it seems to come with them. Now if you look in the box, you still get the original type mount that you will be familiar, anyone with an earlier Wraith, a HD Wraith, will be familiar with. So that just bolts onto the bottom of the rifle. So in the box you get the old style or normal standard mount, and you get your charger and download cable. You get your quick start guide instructions, and you get a lens cloth for the germanium lens at the front. This one has as well, to stop you getting washout, which is something that occasionally you got on the other ones. You now have a little filter that fits on the front, and basically it just narrows down the objective, so that when you're using it in the daytime you don't get too much light coming in and you don't get washout. So you just unscrew that if you're shooting at night and put it in your pocket or leave it at home. Rubber cups fit over the top. And basically it's just as simple and easy to use as the other Wraith, as all Wraiths. There are more options in the menu on this one. There are a lot more options. There's options, different recording facilities, different rates that you can record the HD, the 4K imagery in. Different refresh rates and things like that. But to be honest with you, I never bother with that. I just leave it exactly as it's come from the factory. They know what they're doing, so leave their settings be, zero it in, pick whatever ret you want, pick whatever colour you want, and away you go. Absolutely simple and very, very smart sight indeed. And an absolute bargain, if you ask me, for the money, when you think that these were 1,200 quid. So, once again, I'll just show you some of the stuff on the back. So, camera resolution 4000 by 3000, 3-24, 50mm objective, NV detection range 300 yards, 850 nanometers, 5 hours recording, 8 hours max. Weight is 34.6 ounces. So there you go. The latest, well, it's not the latest, it's been out a fair while now, but the Wraith 4K max. Like I say, the only reason I didn't buy one of these before was that they were a little bit pricey, I thought, compared to a standard Wraith. But at a shade under 500 quid, I have to say these things are an absolute bargain. The image quality through it by day and night is really, really first rate. And these things are tough. I've never had one go wrong. They're tough. Everything's intuitive on them. They really have listened to those that shoot at night. There's no complicated buttons that are hard to find. They're raised up from the body, so they're easy to find. And it's just dead straightforward at night. It's just on, off, and record or not record. Simple. And the little cat's tail helps you focus in really quickly. Really nice bit of kit. Got it fitted to my Virag 100. Can't wait to get out this weekend, hopefully.